What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here. So from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories.
Expose, 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 expose. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you. Expose, 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 expose. It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Expose. 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 Hashtag drama alert. There's news to expose. Hashtag breaking. SS Sniper Wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11. Vagina. Hey guys, it's Scares here. Lots of news today. Lots of exposure. And double upload. Expose. 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 You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scares here. So from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories.
Look here! Look, listen!
Oh, the camera's on.
Holy shit! Bird breasts, bird breasts. What did someone tell me who actually owns a farm, who's one of my subscribers, that isn't it a bird is mating when they're that fucking loud? So those are pretty much essentially birds that are ready to fuck. Oh, man. Some bird foreplay here. Then you have Liana Kurzner, like, 2 in the fucking morning, putting up, like, a bird with a BDSM, like, neck chain. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Why is that bird look like he's about to go to an orgy? Papa Doodle Doo. Thank you, Deadeye. Thank you, everyone, for everything you do, Rich. No, thank you very much. And thank you today for the videos. Actually, you got decent viewership today. I will tell you, it is a real fucking thing. If you do not upload consistently for like a couple weeks, you get fucked in the ass. Maybe when I start to do more evergreen content, I won't feel it as much. But man, and it was like, I did that video talk. When was the last video I did? And then I took like a week off, or 8 days off because of that and Christmas. And I came back and it was like, I'm like, what the fuck? You make it like I haven't uploaded in like 3 years. But wake me when you need me, Master Chief. Yeah, it's sad, man. And you know what's funny is that a few months ago I went and played, and you could still find people fucking playing that game. I remember, I always think of I know I've told this story before, when my dog, or when my ex had to work an overnight, and her psycho dog meant that I couldn't go out and use the bathroom. He would have fucking bit me. So I had to pee in a bottle and just played Halo 3 all night online with people that I work with. Dark Souls boss, DSP, for 8 seconds. You are insane. You got to blame Fluffy for this. Why did I switch? It's a very good question, Only Vocals. Why did I switch back to the SM7B? It's a very simple answer. I'm a lazy fat slob, and sometimes when I stream for like 4 hours, I want to sit back like this, and it's easier to do that with this. And it's more like you could turn it and kind of have it go with you and telescope, excuse me, with you. Whereas the other mic, as great as it is, and I will use it for many other things, like voiceovers I will be doing for upcoming shit. this for these kind of videos is just more sexual. That is a technical term, so go fuck yourself. I am hoping I am going to be able to review something. I am not naming it because it is not guaranteed that I will be able to get a review sample. I'm hoping that I do. If I do, that will be awesome. I have the final draft of the Aya Neo Next review. I got to send my editor some notes. And if I like the review, it should be up tomorrow. Should be. Almost guaranteed, but I don't want to guarantee it because shit happens. Yeah, I saw that. Why did they make a new 7? Like, dude, it's just, I feel like NVIDIA is just like rummaging through like their attic and just like, all right, we have a semiconductor shortage right now. What do we have? All right, we got this like GTX 660, like a couple fan blades are off. I just put it in a box and sell it. Like, it's like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? Well, it's a big deal, but it's not. Because, like, what did I put in the notes? They supported the PS2 till 2013. I forgot to mention this, too, and I put it in the notes. What the fuck is wrong with me? I put in the notes talking about in the video. They were manufacturing the PS2 until 2013, the PS3 until 2016. So that was basically towards the end of the life of the PS3 because it was January of 2013. They were still making PS2s, and the PS3 they were still making until 3 years into the life, around 3 years of the life of the PS. So it's not like it's like, ground ass pounding news. But what's actually more surprising is they were going to cut off the manufacturing of the PS4 so early, which is probably because you could play almost every damn game from the PS4 and the PS5. Well, no, the manufacturing I'm talking about, though, Sonic Power, not support. Manufacturing. It's different. It's different. So, it's not really, but I think what the bigger story there was, and maybe that's where I fucked up too, man. I really fucked that up. Second video up. I failed. I should have, like, what the bigger news was is how quickly they were going to kill off the PS4. That would have been because, like I said, they were manufacturing the PS2 until 2013, the PS3 until 2016. I don't know why it changed from horses to chickens. The chickens just happened, dude. I don't know. It was just a natural chicken evolution. Yeah, I don't know why in the hell at this point you'd buy a PS4 anyway. You're better off either waiting. Like, I could see there's even the argument to say for the PS3 and 360 when the PS4 and Xbox One were out, because the backwards compatibility was non-existent at that point. Now it's like you could just buy the 9th gen systems and play virtually the entire library of the 8th gen systems. Why would you even? It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Didn't say I don't remember if they said that. I don't know about Saturday night because my kids will be here. Because that's going to be watching that whole movie. Because I'm going to be stopping and commenting. That's going to be like a fucking 5-hour stream, man. Review Alex Jones common sense is turning the frogs with the gay. You know what's funny is that trying to be, I'm sure, I mean, every human being has biases, but I genuinely try to hold everyone accountable. Like, have it being like that gets you fucked in the ass from either side, because I make that video about Alex Jones and I piss off like my more conservative side of my audience, which are still a decent portion of, and then I make something about Indiana Black today, and I call her out on her bullshit and things that she was factually wrong about, and I have my left-leaning audience. It's like, oh, Rich, you don't know her. So I'm like, no, I do know what she's talking about. You know? But she's literally... People didn't go to watch G4 for how would Olivia Munn and Morgan would look like. Yes, they fucking did. They absolutely fucking did. And they played up to it. So what the fuck are you talking about? You really want to die on that hill that I could easily prove you wrong? I bought a series. Yeah, I would buy a 9th chip, whether from Sony or Microsoft. Do not buy, like, I'd rather see you buy like a SX or PS5 or whatever the hell you could get your hands on than buy any of the 8th gen systems. It's fucking worthless. You know, and that's the thing. You know, when you try your damnedest to stay as unbiased as possible, you find yourself with strange bedfellows. Here I am with David Jaffe, who now has transformed into Long John Silver, and the bearded man himself, the Quartering, who was putting out lies about me buying my house. But his takes about that were 98% right. Doesn't mean that I agree with harassment. I can't fucking stand it. And do I think women get bothered more online? Of course they do. Like I say all the time, I see with my own eyes, so don't even try to tell me that they don't. But doing what her and Adam Sessler are doing and all this virtue signaling, all it's going to do is feed into it. So the rejects that are doing it are just going to do it more. And what are you going to do? Just homogenize the entire... like you're going to just block the comment section? Every single channel I have seen that has disabled likes and dislikes and has closed down the comment section has absolutely failed. Remember Playboy? The name rings a bell. Why don't I remember her face though on G4's Attack of the Show? And dude, all the women were like 98% of the women were gorgeous on G4. Like, come on. Like, we're gonna pretend that people aren't chosen to be in entertainment, like at least on major TV shows, because of their fucking appearance, especially women. You know what I mean? Like, you could have ugly motherfuckers like Al Roker and who the fuck, like Rush Limbaugh, being like, I mean, I know one guy's a meteorologist and one guy was a piece of shit with a microphone, but you get my point. They both weren't very good. They're not good-looking men. But generally, women have to meet a different aesthetic standard than men do, without question. But what they were doing there is just like, you're going to have to just play whack-a-mole. Now, if I think, here's where I'm a little bit different than the Quartering. Because there's people who say stupid shit all the time. JonTron, just like, he should never, ever go on social media, fucking ever. Ever. But because his content's so good, people overlook it, even if they totally disagree with what the fuck he said. Their content's not good enough. I know someone told me. All right, so I found out the mystery. They're trying to play catch up with all the games that G4 has missed throughout the years to review. So they're reviewing games. But like, that's not really what you should be doing. But okay. So it's just a weird place to be. And why are people saying I'm saying fuck Super Chat? Like, if I'm talking about something, like, if I'm on a topic, you know, I'm going to wait till I'm finished with the topic and then go into the Super Chats. You guys know I answer all of them. So out of curiosity, so I answered that one. I don't know about if they said it's a 5-year console. So Samurai Cop, I'm really trying to get a friend to do it with me. I answered the one about Alex Jones. Is it normal after a night of drinking if my roommate gets super sus? Like, what do you mean? What the hell could have happened? What after a night of drinking? Did you wake up and your fucking underwear are off? Like, what do you mean? Rich, after a night of drinking, I woke up and my underwear were off and my butthole was sore and my roommate was smiling. I think that core story kind of plays itself out, pal. Yeah, but Scott the Waz is smart. You see him talking about any of that shit, he's not an asshole like me. He's not an asshole like me. So if when G4 implodes, because it will, because here's the thing, I really don't, like, there's people who have stupid takes both on the left and the right all the time that they're perfectly fine. Their content's just not good enough. They're offering the same thing that 8 billion other channels are offering. You know what I mean? Adam Sessler is the father of Olivia Mudd, baby. You're right. Highlight of my year. I scored a Series X. Crap Gamers toilet paper. Congratulations. Remember, so I watched the 5 minutes of 15 large waves and swell. What the fuck are you talking about? I have the Blu-ray version of Samurai Cop in The Room. Samurai Cop is worse than The Room. Both hilarious movies to watch. Yeah, and I don't think anyone owns the copyright on it because I never had any. And even if it gets claimed, I don't care. You know, in my opinion, it's more attractive if a woman is confident in her looks and plays it up to her advantage. Yeah, you don't have to be gorgeous. It's not even like I'm not even taking shots at her looks. And like, look, the Machine Gun Kelly thing, it was just the first thing I thought of as I saw her. And then, of course, to make matters worse, the Quartering said the same thing. Like, you know. Like, and I wasn't saying that to be facetious, you know what I mean? Some people say it looked like the guy from fucking Toy Story. I agree with that. You're not an asshole. You're just a straight shooter. But the thing is, I'm not just trying to be like a straight shooter. Like, I'm giving genuine opinions. It's not that like I'm doing some 4D chess. Like, all right, I pissed off people with my Alex Jones video. Let me try to win them back with my. No, I don't care if I win you back or not. Like, I know that sounds like I'm being a dick, and it probably isn't a good business move to say that, but you know what I mean, though. Like, I rather have people know that I'm going to give a genuine opinion than, oh, he was the guy who started to just give opinions in one direction to appease an audience. Because let me tell you, you know where the easy money would be is if I was like, you know what, man, Alex Jones has a lot of points, and you know, no, I don't think the election was stolen, but if I just made up conspiracies about shit, like if I Tim Pooled my way through YouTube, that's where the money would be. David Jaffe just said he loves my stuff. Well, thank you, David. I like David Jaffe shit too. That's why I'm a member of his channel, and I like his games. I blow both sides. Yes. You should react to... I've heard of that name, so you should react to Jaden Animations today. She's a talented animator. I love her. Animal Crossing used to be darker videos. Okay, possibly. Possibly. I recently started streaming on Twitch, and there is a reason why I don't show my face in there, because I know what's going to happen if I do. I'm just streaming just for fun. It is my goal. And, like, yeah, that's true, because, like I've said, I've seen it with my own eyes. Especially, it was worse with Sweet Anita than it was Liana Kersner, but it was pretty bad with her, too. Yeah, like, you get a bunch of Neanderthals in the fucking chat. I'm not taking that away, but it was just overboard. And then on top of it, too, where she would, like, yeah, you didn't watch Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb for their looks, except everyone watched them for, and look, Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn are very talented people, but it helped that they look good, and that's why people tuned in as well. Let's get the fuck out of here. Did you hear cannabis use could actually help with COVID prevention like THC edibles? No. Where the hell did you hear that from? If that's the case, then I am invincible against fucking COVID. Oh, man. DBZ King, I missed your super chat. Yes, DBZ King about JonTron. Every time JonTron goes on social media, it's like he grabs the biggest cannon pop. He's like, what is the worst take I could possibly have about anything, and just have people lose their minds? And I don't think he does it on purpose. That's like, or he may very well be, but I don't think so. Like, I think it's just, I don't know. I think he does enjoy shooting himself in the dick. He's lucky that he's talented enough that people don't care. They're like, yeah, he really pissed me off with what he said, but his videos are so good that I'll still watch them. Your wife's diabetes disappeared after she got COVID? Well, that's a weird one. I have not seen the JonTron Destiny debate. I have not seen it. The cannabis COVID thing, like, how the fuck did they even figure that out? Evil DSP. This has become, I'm telling you, man. That is horrifying. Like, you have to say that is very horrifying. So let's see where my jerky is. That doesn't sound right, but it is true. Let's see where my jerky is. It was supposed to be here already, man. Let's see, the jerky. My jerky is arriving tomorrow. So that's happening. I'm almost wondering if I should tie the jerky in with the Samurai Cop when my friends, just so I could do it all at once and make just like a big, luscious marathon stream. Cannabis and COVID. Now, all right, now you got my fucking attention. Bis COVID. What the fuck? How is this? All right, fine. I'll read this shit to you. We'll discuss. This is insane. This is absolutely fucking insane. Okay. Here we go, 2022. What other shit you got for me? All right, let me shrink myself. I think feel like Birdemic is actually like owned by a company because it's so wildly ridiculous. Or maybe I can stream it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. And I'll see how this does in terms of how it performs with the audience and stuff like that too. So edible cannabis can blunt COVID-19 infection. Research. The compounds are also effective against variants. New research showing cannabis compounds could blunt the virus that causes COVID-19 can really take one's breath away. Hemp compounds, known scientifically as cannabis sativa, can prevent the virus that causes COVID-19 from entering human cells. Stop. According to the Oregon State University researchers. You know the deal. I love birds. Mitchell Parson, thank you. What fart in a DSP snort? Yes. Wait, no, damn it. So, I'm sure that a ton more research needs to be done on this and more trials, but this is interesting, so let's continue. The scientists found that a pair of cannabinoid acids that bind to the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein, blocking a critical step in the process the virus uses to infect people. These cannabinoid acids are abundant in hemp and in many hemp extracts, said Richard Van, a researcher with Oregon State Global Hemp Innovation Center, College of Pharmacy, and Linus Tech Tips Polling Institute. I don't know why I said Linus Tech Tips. They are not controlled substances like THC. The psychoactive agent in marijuana have a good safety profile in humans. Their research showed the hemp compounds were equally effective against variants of SARS-CoV, including the alpha B.1.1.7, which was first detected in the United Kingdom, and variant B.1.351 first detected in South Africa. Hemp is a source of fiber, food, and animal feed, and multiple hemp extracts and compounds are added to cosmetics, body lotions, dairy supplements, and food. The pair of cannabinoid acids that bind the SARS-CoV-2 protein are cannabinoid acid, Harbor, and fuck it. Also, the spike protein is the same drug target used in COVID-19 vaccines and antibodies. These compounds can really be taken orally, if I could talk today, and have a long history of safe use in humans. They have the potential to prevent as well as treat infection of SARS-CoV-2. All right, that's pretty fucking crazy. The point, I mean, obviously, I'm sure more research needs to be done. Wash your balls. Oh, man. YouTube is a weird fucking trip, man. I read it as dairy. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, imagine sniffing coke tomorrow is that's a new cure for COVID. And Tucker Carlson would be like, oh, I actually just snorted a few lines last night and it turned my tie into a fucking bow tie again. And for people that were out there like, oh, now I'm just going to just smoke a bunch of weed and not take if you talk to your doctor and get vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? I read an article on it. Don't think we found the cure. Oh, Rich, the latest PS5 news about not being able to make enough has me concerned. It seems the Xbox is going in the right direction, but will we see a similar shortage happen? Well, it's not easy to get a Series X. The Series S is somewhat I could put a little bit of effort in and get my hands on a Series S. I don't need another one, but I'm saying the Series X that's a tough one to find, man. That's a tough one to find. What are your thoughts on mixing vaccine doses? I got a different booster than I got a Pfizer. No, I got J&J as my main shot, and then I got the booster of Pfizer. I have an appointment for my 3rd dose next week, and I don't think I want to mix Pfizer with a... Well, they say mixing is safe. Just, again, ask your doctor. Go by what your doctor says. Go by what the physician that you go to says. I am just a man on the internet. I recommend getting the vaccine. Beal, why are you referring to yourself in 3rd person? Can I get a wash your balls at infinite times? Sure. Where is it? I'm quarantined. I have COVID. Oh, shit. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, you may feel something, Alex Jones. Alex Jones. I called him Alex Jones. He's Alex Jackson. Oh, boy. Alex Jones might possibly be living rent-free in my head. It says Q2. Yeah, I think that's what it says for me, too. It's going to be interesting to see how that, now with all of these competitors coming out, like it'll be interesting to compare the Aya Neo Next to the Steam Deck. Because I will tell you, it's going to suck, even with the SD card slot. It's still going to suck not having more than 512 gigabytes inside that thing. And even if you want to, even if you don't care about like voiding warranty or Valve or Gabe literally calling you and begging you not to open up your Steam Deck, which it seems like he may very well do, you can only put, though that's a smaller, I forgot the exact number of that NVMe. It's a smaller, shorter one. You could only get up to 1 terabyte. Even 1 terabyte just feels really, it's not an exceptional amount of room in 2022. I'm getting my booster tomorrow. I'm going to get it shot in my left ass cheek. It will be tremendous. Yeah, they make it like... I'm like, dude, I've opened up systems like these before. You're I mean, yeah, if you want to take the whole thing apart, it's probably not a great idea. But, you know, but just if you want to take the back off and... But hey, it is what they're looking to protect their profits. But man, only 512 gigabytes? Really? That is not enough storage. I know, that we optimize SteamOS, so you know games will run just fine off them. I'm sure they'll run, but I'm sure some are not going to run great. Guarantee it. Off topic, Gerard Way from MCR in the music video Helen. It looks like an emo version of Ben Shapiro. I have no idea who that is, but I do know what Ben Shapiro looks like. And he is a man who is afraid of white vagina. So, you know, YouTube is a weird fucking gig, man. And it's a weird gig when you're not, and like I said in my video too, still thinking back to that, like with Adam Sessler. Imagine, like, he's really, really like severely left. I don't know if that's, he's like almost a left extremist, at least on Twitter. I'm blocked by him, but I've said, like, he tell, like, I wish my Republican relatives would die. What else did he said some other shit too. Like, even like, I'm like, imagine you just replace the word Republican, which, look, there's many things that I can't stand about Republicans and talk about that all the time. But if he took out the word Republican there and put Democrats in there, he would have been kicked off Twitter. You know, Rich, have you seen the Karen Whips People YouTube video? It's one of the weirdest videos. Whips people? No. Any 22 update on Ralph since the police? Never. Haven't heard from him. The day I called the police was the final day that I heard from him. I have no idea. So long as he doesn't bother me, I don't care. He could know about all my channels. I have no idea why I've never engaged with Adam Sessler. And at the time when I first realized I was blocked by him, I never said anything negative to him. That was around the time where he got off of Rev3 Games. And I went to go tweets because I guess I was doing like a video talking about something he said maybe on the Wii U or whatever. And I went to go tweets. I'm like, I know he's on Twitter. Why can't I? Then I saw I was blocked. I'm like, okay. But now I see how he is. Like, I'm sure that he seems like the kind of guy who is like, all right, before I get on Twitter, let me update my block list today, even though I don't know these people. I am getting piece by piece in. I am getting game after game after game. It's already the 13th, though. Now that the Aya Neo Next videos, I got to do that 1X player video, but that's going to be next week. They're going to have to wait. I want to get the Wii U video up before this, because I think the eShop closes down on the 22nd of January. So I want to get some of that shit. Before they close it down, man. You know, and I mean, they try. Like, I think what once G4 does fail, not that I wish that it fails, I hope it fucking doesn't. And I'm not just saying that to, I think, Strawman or Gaslight. Like, what the hell does it matter to me if G4 stays around or not? You know what I mean? But, you know, they tried this with Tech TV. They brought back the screensavers. And it's a different fucking time. And people are just not interested anymore. They've moved on. There's different content to consume. Yeah, the Wii U eShop. I got to get on that shit, man, and get a whole bunch of shit. I'll probably include that in the video, me buying a whole bunch of stuff before it closes down. So it's not that, believe me, I have a pile. It looks like it's like a Christmas from 2013 for the 3 kids that got a Wii U, where it's just a pile of Wii U shit in the corner of my bedroom. Yeah, Leo Laporte is fantastic. It's not, he's a talented guy, I'm not, but in terms of going back to that format, like, oh, we could just take our show and put it on YouTube and everyone will just flock back to it. No, it doesn't work. Like, it's a different time. That's not how it's going to work, man. You got to still compete with everybody. I got to use the little boy's room for a second. I'll be back in a second. Man, ooh, boy. I'll be back super quick, though. Here's some birds and that. All right. Review 1 million subs USA. Yeah, keep holding for your breath. Hey, man, I had to take... Man, I lost 70 fucking people here. Can a man let a turd out of his ass? I know what that's from fucking coffee, too. I had a coffee to put a shot of espresso in it because I'm insane. So, that just made my whole empty. RTU USA greater than G4 don't at me. But look, man, thank you. I appreciate that. Am I getting the birds, the cocks, the new PS4? Yeah, sure, I'm going to get them. They'll be pissed off if I get them an outdated console. I mean, they definitely have great production value. Look, Adam Sessler is a talented dude. I don't know that much about the one who went on the sexism rant. I don't know. She may be extremely talented. I don't know nothing about her. Haven't watched any of her work. But I'm not going to take away the fact that Adam Sessler's a talented guy. He is. But I don't know. Like, you need more than production value. Production value is definitely a good thing. But we were watching ET2 with Filthy Frank. Granted, that was a different time on YouTube. But we were watching ET2 with Filthy Frank. Were they using proper lighting? I mean, it was 2015. It wasn't like it was a lifetime ago. It was now going to be 7 years ago, which is insane. But you get my point. You know, and that has millions upon millions upon millions. iDubbbz still absolutely. He's not as relevant as he used to be. He's still way more relevant to me. But it's not like he's, you know, hiring fucking Martin Scorsese to film the fact that he wants to punch Rice Gum's face in. You know what I mean? So, my point being is that it's just a different era. And when you see G4 and they tried to bring back Tech TV, it just shows they're relics from a different time. You know, when people didn't have the options they had now, sure, though they would watch them because that was their options, you know. But technology has changed. The people who produce the content has changed, and people's tastes have changed, and they've grown up and moved on. I've seen some people saying maybe that rant was to stir up some controversy so people pay attention to them. I guess, but it's so fleeting, so why do it? That's why I always laugh when people think I talk about something for clout. It's so fucking fleeting. So I don't care if I lose subs either. Like, I basically just did a lose your subs 48-hour special. I pissed off people on the right with my Alex Jones video, and I pissed off people on the left with my video today about G4. And here I am shirtless sitting with you guys with my burps smelling like gasoline. What the fuck did I have for dinner? Oh, chicken. Why do my burps... Oh, I had hot sauce. The clout is to chase clout would be to do exact opposite. I mean, look, man, and I'm not making it like I'm a you know, such a virtuous soul, because that's a lie too. Of course, if there's like 4 stories, I want to whittle it down to 2 or 3. Am I going to go, which one will get better viewership? I'll pick that one. Of course I will. This is still a business. You know, it's still a business. Because I give my takes on things, Shadow Fox. What do you mean why do it? But to say that I'm going to gain something out of it when I know it pisses people off, if I said that Alex Jones is he's a truth seeker, and I trust Alex Jones, that would be where the clout is. There's your answer. That's where it is, and people have done it. Dave Rubin is a perfect example. You know what I mean? Yes, that review is still coming. It absolutely. What helped push that back? What pushed that back was I got other shit to review from companies. I can't, like, One X player. I actually got that before I got the Aya Neo Next, but it's One X, man. You gotta, like, I know they make AMD Switch-like gaming PCs. I really don't think until they work out, like, maybe it'll put fire up Intel's ass. I don't know how much money they're making off of these niche products, like these Switch-like gaming PCs, Intel, so they may not just give a fuck at all, but their driver support for the integrated graphics is fucking garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. Do you think there are any politicians that actually want to do good? No, there are some that have. I'm not going to name any because then it will go down that, oh, but he, but she, but he, but she, but he, but she, but yes. You know. So, you know, but the thing is that when the dust settles and the grifts die down to a degree, you know, I'll still be doing my shit, man. I'll still be doing this. A lot of the channels that I'm thinking of that I won't name will come and go because people will realize that they're full of shit. I'm really serious. Why am I so serious right now? I don't understand. But I don't see any room for any of these channels to, like, any of these networks to come back and like the G4 seems like that they're at the point like, all right, we're getting desperate. Let's just start airing episodes of Cops. Like, they're already getting to that point. And it's not like they just started. You know? I just can't get over the sticks on the Aya Neo, though. Someone brought up something about that. I can't get over how good they feel. Like the analog. I've never felt analog sticks like that. That they're using that Hall sensor where it uses magnets, so there's no friction. That's the future right there. Any upcoming piece of hardware, or no, well, obviously the next gen console, current gen consoles kind of just came out a little over a year ago, but any upcoming controller revisions from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo need to use the Hall sensor. What is it called again? Hall sensors, yes. If you're not using them, you're wrong. They feel better. They'll last longer. It sounds like I'm talking about, like, someone's cock after Viagra, but it's true. You know, I paid my ticket, so here's 5 big boys. Also, Matt Scullin was hotter. Well, Phil would disagree with that.
Watch your balls.
Have you played the two Xbox, PS2, and yes, and I have. I bought the Advanced Collection for PC and for Xbox. So it's I could play it on the consoles like the Aya Neo. Hey, Rich, relax. Do some live stream gaming. Is BioShock Remastered good on the Switch? Yes, it's 30 FPS, but it's solid, and it's the remastered versions. It's not like they just took the 360 version and slapped it on there. Yeah, I heard about that, man. They're looking for other options besides YouTube. It's where we're at, man. It's where we're at. You're going to tell me that's poorly made content? That's some of the best content. That is some of the most well-produced content on this fucking platform, without question. You may not be into the true crime genre, but you can't tell me that that's not excellent, well-researched, well-produced content. And it can't survive. Why do you think Filthy Frank... I'm sure George Miller could say what he wants to, and I don't know whatever he said, but I'm sure a big motivator was that he saw the shift in YouTube. There's no way Filthy Frank could be on YouTube now. Could you imagine? I'm surprised the channel's still up now. I missed your super chat, Kev. Prince Andrew has been stripped of his royal duties and military titles. Also, Supreme Court shot down Biden's vaccine worker mandate. Yeah, dude, but that's like a slap on the wrist for Prince Andrew. He'll never do jail time. No matter how much damning evidence is out there. Okay, boo-hoo. So now how much access to money, what is his net worth? The fuck out of here. Oh no, now he doesn't have his he can't serve his royal duties anymore. Wah. Aren't all of his duties fucking like ceremonial anyway and don't actually affect government? Battlefield 2042 is so bad, even cheat. Didn't G4 actually give it a good review too? We should probably, maybe we should watch that. Let's watch their good. FF quit because the voice was damaging. And he was also drinking while doing later videos. I heard that. But I still scratch my head and wonder if YouTube still was the way it was in like 2016, 2017. Maybe we would see the occasional video from him. With how many views he gets, it would be worth it for him. So let's see G4's Battlefield 2042 video that everyone keeps talking about. People were talking about this shit before I even... Battlefield 2042 G4. Is this it? Battlefield review. Okay. Oh, there's an ad. Well, because I'm not on the right browser. Oops. No, I don't want you to restore anything. All right, so let's watch this. Let's watch this. And then it's only 14 minutes, then we'll go back to just chatting. Let's see what all the ruckus is about with this review.
Some things in life are inevitable, like corporations successfully getting their taxes lowered year after year, or the planet crossing the 1.5 degree threshold, or me being disappointed in the next Battlefield game. But I think Battlefield 2042 might just break that streak. Hey everyone, the Black Hokage here with my review of Battlefield 2042, the latest in EA's long-running series of chaotic online shooters. I've played a bunch of these games, and I've really enjoyed most of them, but the most recent installments, the confusingly titled Battlefield 1 and Battlefield...
Because they're banking on nostalgia to bring people in. But it doesn't last long enough, and it's not even the same people. Like, they have Adam Sessler. Who else is there that was originally... Morgan Webb's not really back. They came back to do, like, that thing. I think Kevin Pereira maybe a little bit. Who else is back? Nobody.
Battlefield 5 were not that great. And based on what I've seen, I was hoping 2042 could be the return to form. And that's exciting because when these games are good, Battlefield is one of the most enjoyable experiences in gaming. So is 2042 a triumphant return or a dystopian nightmare? Let's find out. The Battlefield series began with Battlefield 1942, which took place during World War II and began with the franchise's obsession with the number 42. The franchise then ran through basically every war of the past 100 years, including
pretty much. I think both, Vampire. I think both. I could be wrong about that. I'm just going off the top of my head. I liked Bad Company, too. I think I did a review on that back in the day. I'm pretty sure I did.
Including a couple that haven't happened yet, from Vietnam to the year 2142 to World War I, and then back to World War II again. Many of them included some kind of campaign, but the main draw has always been the massive online battles with as many players as possible sharing a map and trying to murder each other or murder themselves whenever they try to fly a helicopter. And it's pretty much always delivered on that. But when a series runs this long, you have to find ways to offer something new. That's exactly why Battlefield 1 and 5 made the series feel stagnant to me. They literally went backwards not just in the time period, but in the development of the franchise. But Battlefield 2042 moves into the near future, and while it looks as bleak as the United Nations Climate Report, it also is exciting to get into the action. Set in the war between the US and Russia, the conflict kicks off after the cascading effects of climate change lead to a...
There's so much stuff about politics. Rich, you talk about politics all the time during it. Yes, I do. But I'm not just solely a gamer view channel. I've never have been. it's just weird, all this stuff that like jing 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 jing, like okay, like I'll watch Kyle Kalinske if I want to hear about about news. You know what I mean? I'll watch whoever.
A global blackout and the emergence of a wave of climate refugees known as nopads. It's a vision of the future that is definitely on Greta Thunberg's bingo card.
This is precisely what I warned you would happen. A cascading series of climate
What are they doing?
disasters. The displacement of untold millions.
It isn't political, but it's been made political. I believe in climate change. I believe climate change is real. Oh, don't trust me. I'm not disavowing that. If that is what anyone think, that's not my MO.
The failure of power grids worldwide and massive battles between 128 players across several game modes. How dare you? Wait.
But these details are all backstory and Easter egg.
Yeah, that is true too, DBZ.
There's no campaign of any kind in Battlefield 2042.
But I don't think, like, what the fuck is even the premise of Battlefield 2042? Besides shooting other people in the face, like, there's no single-player campaign.
Which is fine. But I'm not sure there's anyone alive who buys and plays these games for the story. As far as excuses to throw a bunch of players into a mostly modern military setting, though, it works. There are 10 specialists available at launch, including Kimball Irish Grays,
Yeah, but if it'll be part of why they fail, but it's going to be 10%. If they just offered like something, okay, it's well produced. There's nothing wrong with the production. The corny Greta Thunberg, want, but it's fine. But what makes it stand out? What's different about it? What is the flavor that's here that I can't get anywhere else? Give Dad the fucking flavor. Like, give me the, like, what is your special, like, I watch G-Man Lives, okay? It's a review, but he just adds his own shit to it, you know, and it's funny, and it's unique. I may be reviewing something that I won't name until I have the review code. I'm going to put me into it. You may not like me, but that's, you know, everyone different. Some people love my shit, some people hate it. That's fine. But this is just a cookie cutter review. Nothing more, nothing less. Wah. It's fine, but there's a lot of shit on YouTube that's fine. I got the Amico to review, no.
Returning character from Battlefield 4.
Piggy Cheese is in the chat. Oh.
Who is played by the late great Michael K. Williams. Omar's coming. Ew. This is awesome for two reasons. One, I'm never mad about seeing that guy in something. And two, his presence reminds me of Battlefield 4, which is the last time I really enjoyed the franchise. Each of the specialists roughly fits into one of the classic Battlefield classes, but with gear and abilities that are more, you know, specialized because they're special.
Why is this not 60 FPS? Why is he showing me, like, they're really not doing... It is 60... But it's not really.
All this is table setting because the
and he is in 60. Why did they not capture the gameplay in 60 FPS so you could see how
main course is the gameplay. 2042 includes the class.
What is pick a side? I got to look into it. I meant to, and then I get caught up with other projects like reviewing the Ioneo and shit like that, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's like that thing about Sony making the PS4 longer because of the PS5 shortage was on my radar, but I just got caught up with other shit.
Classic conquest mode in which a huge number of players battle for control points in massive, destructible environments. It's the bread and butter of the series, and so obviously it's here with a handful of new maps.
The new maps paint a chilling picture of what our future will look like if you...
Yeah, it's like everybody else. It sounds like IGN. You're right. Like there's nothing, like it's professional. It's well produced. This skit needs to die in a fire. But besides for that, it's fine. It's fine. That's it. There's plenty of it's fine all over YouTube. There's great it's fine. This is just more of it. That's really what it is. It has nothing to do with the gender of who's there. Has nothing to do with Adam Sessler saying something fucking stupid on Twitter every 2 minutes. Because I think it's arguable that JonTron might beat him at least once every 6 months he goes on. It's always a terrible thing that he did for him to do. But it's just mad content.
You do not take this crisis seriously. A rocket launch ravaged by storms in French Guiana, a verdant agricultural region.
Like, what it...
Selfishly...
Like, look, I'm going to joke around in my possible review of a thing that I won't mention until I know I'm actually going to review it. You know I'm going to say stupid shit. You know there's going to be birds, and they're going to be massaged, and... I don't know. I mean, look, maybe people find this funny and I'm just missing it. Just maybe I'm just an old man on the internet.
Walled off from deserts of Egypt, hulking shipwrecks off the coast of India. This is what is
Shaven ass of Matthew. Oh shit about Lego. Okay. Shaven ass of Matt. Are you talking about intro guy's ass, Googlefish?
Is waiting for us.
Yeah, what is
if
Greta...
we do not...
What the fuck does Greta Thunberg have anything to do with this? Does this game even have a story? Like, is climate change part of this? If it's part of the story, then that's fine. And look, I believe that climate change is real. We need to do something about it. So it's not that I'm, like, climate change denier and my butt's bleeding. What? It doesn't even have a fucking campaign. So I'm telling you, there's a bunch of fucking like early 20-somethings that are working there and emo Adam Sessler that are going to shoehorn all of this shit into every single fucking review. You know it. That's exactly what's going on.
Not
Adam Sessler is as insecure as Tommy Tellerico. He's just left-leaning. Whereas I think that Donald Trump and Tommy spray tan their ass cheeks together.
Gorgeously rendered environments that are fully destructible. The only hope of averting this crisis.
Yeah, it's just not funny. It's not. Like, they're so tone-deaf to what's going on. I don't care about your gender. I don't care about your race. You're a talented reviewer. You're a talented reviewer. If you suck, you suck. But this is just not... There's nothing here so far that's being offered that I can't get anywhere else and probably get better. I'm not a huge fan of Angry Joe's style, but I without a doubt would rather watch an Angry Joe review than this. And I don't really think this stuff is that great. Ooh, did I say that out loud? Yes, I did.
Is reducing emissions and
I don't have a lot of friends in this business. I wonder why.
Covering data drives. I know what I said.
Conquest is comfort food, but 2042 also comes with the new Hazard Zone mode, which is honestly more exciting to me. It's a change.
Is he selling the game or reviewing it? I feel like I'm watching like an ad from EA themselves right now. I'm just keeping it real with you. Obviously, he's reviewing it. I'm not saying they got any money. I can almost guarantee you that they didn't. But I have not heard anything from either the community or reviewers that has been nothing but negative about this game. It is strange.
Change of pace from the usual Battlefield dynamic where the goal is to find data drives and get extracted without getting killed, and is dope. Hazard Zone rewards working closely with a squad. Instead of relying on the chaos of a massive conquest map, But it also highlights exactly how much fun a game like this is with friends, something that Battlefield has made its core platform since the beginning of the franchise. And sure, I guess technically most things are better with friends, but having a squad back you up in Battlefield is...
There is one thing that is not, and that is masturbating. Yes, I agree with you, Florida, and I'll throw in G-Man Lives. Like, he could review a turd, and I would watch it before I'd watch a brand new game review from anybody else, because he puts his personality in it. I don't even care about his fucking production value. I don't care that I don't see his face. Why do you think I like watching regular car reviews? They could review whatever fucking car they want to. I watch them because of big dicks. Hard dick, he said. He kept on repeating, we may have to watch some hard dick from regular car reviews. I forgot what review it is, but I remember I was taking a shit, and that review came up, and I'm just sitting there. All of a sudden, you see Mr. Regular keep on saying, hard dicks, hard dicks. Who mentioned me? When people said they wanted the early 2000s to come back, this is not what they meant. Yeah, pretty much, man.
Particularly satisfying, just trust me. But it can only be fun when the game actually, you know, works, and there's a ton of noise online about how horrible day one play is. I was nervous too on launch day, but I'm feeling better about it now. I know the game is brand new, but overall, the first weekend, I'd say the performance has been hit.
Why are we okay with including me? I've become conditioned to be okay with it. Why are we okay with games coming out and not being finished? Why am I okay with it? Like, I slap myself and I'm like, wait, like, the game's not done. Why are you praising it?
Hit or miss. I experience crashes, slow load times in the games, and occasional frame rate issues.
EA servers are
Stop with Greta fucking Thunberg. It's not funny. You're beating it into the ground.
stealing our future. Our children deserve to play games.
Like you've beat this into the ground more than I have the fucking birds, and I make out with them every day. Ah, Tim Tams. And Jason, well, look, man, you could say what you want to about Jason Schreier, but his journalism, when he does, like, investigative journalism into this shit, is, like, close to second to none, I would say. You know, I don't know him personally. He may be the nicest guy on the planet, or not, but he's definitely good at investigative journalism. Rich, it's the 1994 Supra review. We may have to watch that, and you are a fucking legend for super chatting that
to me. Without poor frame rates. Fast matchmaking is an intrinsic human right.
I'm telling you, there's a bunch of 22-year-olds there that just get out of college and thought they were writing geniuses for doing this. I'm telling you. Oh, man.
These corporations... What's that? The game's performance has already begun to improve. Oh, this is such a relief. That this existential threat is being taken seriously. Imagine if a crisis like this were ignored and allowed to get worse in spite of obvious steps that could be...
Do you realize I've been using you for about 6 to 7 months now in skits, and I don't think I've dragged you through the dirt as much as this one video has dragged through the Greta Thunberg, whatever the fuck her name is, joke in this one single video. What is happening here? No, that's a very good question. I still have it. I'm going to be using it for voiceover work. I have it actually back. It came in like a suitcase, basically. But for kind of doing this where I lean back and go forward and the kind of stuff I do here, this is better for that. But that mic is superior for voiceover work. As a matter of fact, I was told for voiceover work to specifically not use this mic. But for what I do here, it is great.
...be taken to fix it. What an unimaginable situation that would be.
One thing I will say is that when it was running smoothly, the game looked amazing with stunning visuals that made consistently impressive large-scale moments. Again, when it was running smoothly. All of these issues improved on the second day though, and they were almost exclusive to the Conquest mode. Honestly though, the issues with Conquest led me to play more Hazard Zone, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not mad at that. Hazard Zone actually ran incredibly smooth, which is probably a big part of why I enjoyed it so much compared to Conquest matches. But it really would have benefited from having voice chat at launch. I know they probably thought everyone would just use Discord, but when I had to play with randos, it felt hopeless because we couldn't coordinate. It's another one of the many reasons this game is 10 times better when played with friends, and it feels kind of shocking that it was an oversight. But in general, a lot
All right, they mentioned that. Credit where credit's due. That's not bad.
A lot of these issues feel like things that will be patched out, and I feel good about the fact that the performance will improve.
But voice chat, that's like the equivalent of buying a car and like, but wait, where are the fucking tires and the wheels? Like, we're still developing that. We'll patch those in later, but I can't drive that. Well, yeah, we'll patch them in. Just put it on the back of a lift and you'll get them fine. Do you know Lahi? No, I don't.
Improve because this franchise is a cash cow for EA. It doesn't mean I won't dunk on them when their servers don't work, because I definitely will, but it's promising that things are already starting to improve. And with some good post-launch content, they could really have something here, because even in the early days, it does feel like they're already laying the foundation.
Does it still have that floaty feel? I hated that. Even with 60 FPS, Battlefield always felt like floaty.
For what could
Yeah, no voice chat, no scoreboard. These could all just be patched in. Basic fucking fundamental things that are obvious. Just patch them. Just patch them.
Could be the best Battlefield title in years. The overall feel of combat in Battlefield 2042 is tight and concise, with guns that feel responsive and varied on top of being hugely customizable. Honestly, it's overwhelming. The customization is some of the deepest I've ever seen in a game like this, and it's worthwhile spending some zen time in the menus building your loadout. Present you will want to jump into the game and
Did he say legacy features? I missed that. Oh, man.
start blowing stuff up, but future you will be glad that you put in time to get prepared. It also helps that specialists all feel different from each other, with each of them actually serving a purpose. So if you're playing with friends and construct a genuinely functional unit, you can really sway the tide of battle and feel
He said unit.
like an unstoppable squad of Battlefield gods, even in a massive game of Conquest. In general though, Conquest has been the same as pretty much every other Battlefield game. It's tried and true, and the only thing that's really new outside of the expanded scale is some of the maps, which are honestly, they're hit or miss. And the new weather evolutions, like the tornado, it's really dope the first few times, because who doesn't want to ride a tornado? But they also affect the frame rate, and I would gladly give up the occasional tornado to be able to actually hit my shots. It's awesome to be able to summon vehicles on the fly though, and it actually felt balanced because there were timers. Although the Ranger dog definitely needs to be nerfed because it would just snipe me from across the map, and it didn't feel fair, which means everyone's using it, and why wouldn't they? It's cheap, which is why I've had more fun with Hazard Zone. Even if the greater dependency on making sure you've had an actual squad of friends to play with makes it harder to pick
Your Christmas present's right here. It's a bird.
up and play whenever you want. Go make friends. It's not that hard. Okay, fine, it's kind of hard, but do it anyway. For a lot of different reasons, but mostly so you have someone to play with in Battlefield 2042. Your first few matches in Hazard Zone will be rough because everyone will have better loadouts than you. But once you get a scope, it's a whole different monster. You only get one life, which means playing with a level of care and precision that really tested my discipline to not get greedy for kills. Only having one life makes the stakes feel higher, and if you play it properly, the mode really scratches that itch for both thoughtful strategy and constant action. Without friends, it's a lonely, frustrating exercise in futility, kind of like doing an X-Play review. But with friends, it's everything I want Battlefield to be. In general, Battlefield 2042 feels like a love letter to longtime Battlefield fans, which is great, because that's me. And after 2 installments that I did not enjoy, it's nice to feel catered to, especially with the new Battlefield Portal mode, which could result in some really cool stuff if people pick up the ball and run with it. Portal allows players to make custom multiplayer modes with maps and equipment drawn from throughout the history of the franchise, and just know that people are eventually going to make some wild stuff. But that feels like something that's going to grow in time. The options weren't overwhelmingly robust on the first couple of days. There were some featured modes, but not a ton of people were playing it yet. That's fine though.
Grow in time. If there is time for it to grow. If this isn't DOA in like a month, well, DOA would mean dead on arrival, but you know what I mean. Shout out to... Man, I have friends, but I don't want to... Man, at the end of the day, after I'm done with everything, I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. Can we watch Big Bill Hell's Car tomorrow? Possibly. I had a technician come to my house today and change the main and T-Con boards on my Hisense. Still has ghosting. On to the next step. But yeah, I haven't. I've dealt with zero fucking ghosting on mine. And I'm not sponsored by them. They just sent me out the TV for the PS5 video. And the other one I got a sample to review, but it's a review sample. Like, what am I, like, how, am I going to, like, pack up the TV so it more than likely goes back to them fucking broken? Yes, you get to keep, like, 95% of the review samples you get. And only an idiot would lie about it just to get free shit and say something's good when it's not good.
Because Portal feels like an investment in the game's future, and a big part of what's going to keep it exciting moving forward. It adds another social element to the game too, even for people who don't have a squad to play with, and when given tools like this, it's only a matter of time before any community uses it to create something gloriously dumb.
The Battlefield Portal offers a potential future full of options that have been denied to me and my generation. It's an intrinsic human right to be as stupid as we want, as
Review Soldier Boy's Cucumber. It's all over Twitter. What's all over Twitter? Hey, Rich, thanks for making this review entertaining. I should throw some G4 money at you and get the fuck out of here. I'm pretty sure that everybody at that place can't fucking stand me. Even if they did go in there and knew who I was, I'm sure there's some people even know who the fuck I am, too. But I know Adam Sessler sure as fuck knows who I am. There'd be no chance.
As long as it doesn't destroy the planet, which you'd think would be a pretty low bar to clear, and yet...
In general, it's worth remembering that we are at the very beginning of this game's lifespan. But I already feel comfortable saying that...
You think we're at the very beginning. Or are we at the end? The world may never know. Or we do know, actually. Never mind.
I'm enjoying it far more than Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. And while I'm definitely not upset if anyone wants to wait for a few patches to deploy before diving in, I also feel good about the fact that I've already seen improvements after the first couple of days. Because if DICE and EA can ensure that it keeps functioning properly, then it certainly seems like Battlefield 2042 has fulfilled my hope of getting the series back on track. Assuming you have friends to play with, that is, because it's essential as ever to enjoy a game like this. Even more so if you want to get the most out of Hazard Zone, which...
Big Hell's Bell car commercial, short but hilarious. Okay.
I promise you do. So I promise it's worth going out there and making some friends, or at least badgering anyone you know who hasn't played Battlefield for a while to get into this game. Because in the moments when it lives up to its fullest potential, this is the best the franchise has been in ages, which is why we give Battlefield 2042 a 4 out of 5. If you haven't played any...
How with the things that you even mentioned in that review do you give that game a 4 out of 5? Again, I guarantee you that they are not bought. I will repeat that. I assure you that that was not. But I don't understand. All right. I'm taking the bait. Let's watch another review. All right, so I guess Kevin Pereira is there. Who's reviewing this? All right, we'll watch it. Ghost of Tsushima. Oh, they're long. I'm not sitting through another fucking 30-minute review. Oh yeah, God of War releases tomorrow. I got that downloading on the INEOs. Be interesting to see how it plays on there. It's so funny how like you go to AMD's software and it like shows that your system doesn't meet spec for the games I have on the INEO, but the INEO runs every single one of those games minus Halo Infinite great. So I'm like, how does it not meet spec? How do your own drivers not know that the game runs fine? Like, dude, yeah, I'm not watching anymore. It's over. There's nothing there that 8 billion other channels don't offer too. And the argument, hey, Rich, you regurgitate mostly gaming news. What about what you? I'm like, yeah, but I don't have to have a staff of fucking 50 people for video or 20 people per video. You know? Oh yeah, let's watch the review of, what was it? Supra RCR. Yeah, we could watch that. That we could watch, I know. Yep, 3 years. Jesus Christ, 3 years ago already, huh? I'll be damned. Let me open that up in the other browser so we don't have to worry about ads.
You and DeLorean guys should compare best in show trophies. And then butt raunch.
That's how I would start my video.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear this?
No.
1994 Toyota Supra Turbo. Do you have your dick out yet? Tomorrow's Christmas. Did you immaculately?
Yes, this literally was was released. I remember sitting on the toilet and shitting and watching this. The man of culture. What did you want? Let me see. Let me go to StreamLabs. Let me go to StreamLabs because I'm too stupid to open it preemptively. Recent events. Let me see here. Yes. I'll look at that later. Because I know you could link me to, because they allowed nudity on Twitter. And said my jaw's
hitting the ground.
Please shave your taint so your balls bounce quietly as to satisfy my temperament. Because life without class isn't life worth living. 1994 4th Gen Supra Turbo.
God, I remember that thing is so 90s.
Narrative surrounding
obviously it's 1994, but it's so 90s.
4th Gens is moving away from, hey, that's a cool 90s sports car and it's fast, to, wow, that's a really expensive car. What do you do for a living? In 2018 and moving now into 2019, can you enjoy a 4th Gen Supra for the sports car it is without the $50,000 bring-a-trailer auction sale hanging over your head? I couldn't. I wanted to rev this 2J twin turbo all day, but I kept thinking, ugh, Chris is doing me a huge favor. Let me drive this. Don't break it. Don't break it. Don't scratch it. And hold in your farts.
No, I'd just let the farts out.
And all of that goes against what Toyota wanted the 4th Gen Supra to be. The Supra joined up with the Viper for a co-op match of pressing dual middle fingers in the Corvette C4's self-satisfied fiberglass face. Your time's done, old man. We make more power than you, and the kids like us more. And I can still get hard with a thought. Hot dicks, hot
Here we go.
dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks,
Yes!
hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks. Merry Christmas. Hot dicks, 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 hot dicks. Hot dicks, 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 hot dicks.
This is the quality content that I come to YouTube for.
hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks, hot dicks. The 4th gen Supra was 310 pounds lighter than the 3rd gen, and it's 3 inches shorter. Stock, the 2-gen 3-liter twin-turbo inline-6 made 320 horsepower crank and propelled the 4th gen to 60 miles an hour in 5.1 seconds. I'm sorry, I have to
It's not as mind-blowing as that used to be.
stop. To 60 miles an hour in 5.1 seconds. Chris also has a Blitz intake, HKS blow-off valve, catalytic converter delete, 3-inch turbo downpipe by Megan's Racing, and a tumescent TRT exhaust. Although he never had it on a dyno, similar setups with this stuff make about 400 horsepower. Mark IVs didn't come with boost gauges and never vented their boost pressure to atmosphere. So Chris put on an aftermarket boost gauge where the clock used to be. 2Js naturally build boost late, even with twin turbos, which are supposed to spool faster than a big single. But even with that, you don't get full forced induction pull until 5,000 RPM, as opposed to Toyota's 3S GTE Gen 4 turbo transverse 4-cylinder, which spooled by like 2 or 2,100 RPM. Ah, they're great. The extra displacement of a 3-liter inline-6 makes for easy in-town driving when you're off boost. But when the turbos are just lazily windmilling along, not doing anything, a 4th gen Supra feels like, and bear with me on this, a V6 Mustang. And mileage is about the same too, 18 city, 23 highway. But once those turbos spool, your power feels like it doubles, and the speedometer needle jumps up 15 miles an hour immediately, and the tach looks like it's about to go into the red immediately, and I get scared and shift up, and now I'm out of the power band again. And then the boost builds again, and then the boost builds again, and I'm
God, it's such a 90s looking steering wheel too.
coming, and then I'm going 100 miles an hour already. So where do you go from there? Back off and accordion up to triple digits again? Do you keep accelerating past the ton over and over? You're not going to carve back roads because this is a $50,000 collector car. Unless you're so baller and so emotionally vacant you can abuse a 4th gen Supra. And in order to carve with a Super Turbo, you have to be enough of a narcissist to weather the internet storm which will descend upon you.
Let's grab a cup of coffee. I will grab a cup of coffee.
And your DMs after you reduce the number of 4th gen turbos in the...
See, I actually like regular car reviews better. I mean, Doug is way more thorough, but almost to me to a fault. If that makes sense.
This world by one because you had to race along the tail of the dragon. 2 kinds of people own 4th gen Supras. Number 1, investors, and number 2, investors who openly do steroids in Gold's Gym. Chris
It's pretty much.
This is 4th gen, and notice you can say 4th gen and people automatically know you're talking about a Toyota Supra. You know, that just happens. People just know that. Anyway, Chris has TN springs which lower the car about 1.
What program do I use? To make music, I use Acid Pro. That's Magix owns that. It used to be Sony that owned it. Then it used to be, forgot the name of the company. Possibly S. Miller. It's kind of a boring process to watch, but I'm sure some people would be interested. S. Miller.
1 inch, and he's running Kumo tires at 235/45/17 in the front and 275/40/17 in the rear. And he's still running the stock side mount intercooler. The headlights up here...
Can you have your chat money back? What chat money are you speaking of?
The front are from the 1997-1998 model year, and same for the taillights. I gotta be real. This is not a luxurious sports car. These seats are thin. There's not much lower lumbar support, and the dash in here is, even though there's lots of information, there's lots of negative space going on in here, and it's just a thin piece of just regular Toyota plastic. I mean, we're used to, in like sports cars today, seeing Alcantara leather and all that. But no, you just kind
Not in a 90s interior.
of have hard plastic. The privacy shelf pulley thing, supposed to hide your stuff under the rear hatch, that's floppy. And the floor of the sort of cargo area is just plastic and cardboard. The glove box door is clacky and weak, and the speakers are old and cracked and tinny and ugh. And this is a $50,000 sports car. Why is this a $60,000 agreed upon nostalgia worth $70,000? Why is the market
Because people like to pay for like if something's collectible, people don't care.
peaking for the Mark IV Supra? Well,
You got people spending money like thousands upon thousands of dollars and over millions of dollars in some cases on over glorified JPEG images.
the 208th rule of acquisition states that sometimes the only thing more dangerous than a question is an answer. So let's go to the 23rd rule of acquisition. Nothing is more important than your health, except your money. The Toyota Supra was first produced as the Celica Supra, debuting for the 1979 model year, taking the liftback design of the Celica and both widening it and elongating it. Of course, the only reason anybody really gave a damn about the Supra when it debuted was the 2.6-liter inline-six, which is the first engine on a Toyota to offer electronic fuel injection. The Celica Supra would go through any number of styling and engineering changes until 1986, when it was separated from the Celica branding and spun off into its own model, in time with the release of the A70 Supra. Toyota would produce the Supra over 4 generations, from 1978 to 2002. The first 3 generations were manufactured at the Toyota's
Did he make a Star Trek? I didn't even catch it because I'm not a big fan of Star Trek.
Tara plant in Japan, while the 4th gen moved production to the
I mean, for the amount of, I mean, look, I get a collector's thing. It's you're buying it for collector-ish things, but with that money, man, you get something newer that'll be nicer and faster. But whatever. Hey, everyone, it's their money.
Motomaki plant in, and no, I'm not making this up, Toyota
Ban anybody with a variation of my name.
City, Japan. As the Supra looked to survive on its own name, Toyota put the A80 program into effect. By mid-1990, Toyota would begin building test versions of the Mark IV on the A70 bodies, with the first A80 prototypes being built in 1991. Yet it wouldn't be until 1993 when mass production would begin, sharing a platform with the Lexus SC. In addition to the more aggressive, sportier engine, Toyota added a 6-speed GetRag Toyota V160 gearbox on all turbos, in opposition to the 5-speed manual W58 transmission on the naturally aspirated models. Weirdly enough, Toyota didn't...
They had these naturally aspirated. They kind of probably would definitely be like a V6 Mustang at that point.
Actually badge the turbos as turbos until 1997 and 1998, so it's not as if you'll know it's a turbo until you get into the guts of the thing, or until you take it out on the road and see if it lives up to the fanboy awe that inspires 5-figure bring-a-trailer prices. Because there's no way this thing holds anywhere near the value it does without the Fast and the Furious franchise. We have to go here. It's now part of the car's history. It's part of the history to the point where people love this car almost as much for what it was in that fantasy medium than for what it is in a vacuum. Not that it's going to stop people from putting the Mark IV Supra on a pedestal, and maybe they're right to. I mean, Road and Track called the Supra Turbo's acceleration, handling, and braking close to the best we've ever seen, regardless of cost. Car enthusiasts viewed it as a potential Corvette killer, and auto journalists assumed the position for their new sports coupe overlord. Of the 94 Supra, Car and Driver boldly stated, "The Lexus feels like a luxury car, albeit an exceptionally agile one, and the Supra feels like an athlete." And adding, because of its exceptional composure...
Yeah, you got to realize, though, and I'm sure he does, that you're going by reviews that were at the time. So it probably did feel like that at the time. Now going back and a billion different cars later, you know, many, many years later, 24 years later, yeah, it's not going to feel as exhilarating.
The Supra has none of the nervous and jerky temperament associated with high-performance cars. What if you define luxury from the standpoint of driving excellence, a car that responds correctly, beautifully, rewarding your inputs with no luxo frou-frou to distance you from the business of driving? Now we're talking about the Supra. For crying out loud, go to Edmunds right now and look up 1994 Toyota Supra reviews, and you'll find one loving tongue bath after another. You could go to prison and not have your asshole licked this clean.
That's good to know.
Who needs religion when you have a Mark IV Supra? Your god is a touring car that people take out on racetracks, even though it doesn't take corners as good as a turbo Miata. But your god is an episode of Shark Tank with 4 wheels and a chassis. It's an investment opportunity that you don't intend to share with anybody, because what you really just won is the recognition of having something worth investing in. It's the Mark IV Supra. And yeah, you know pre-cum still has some sperm in it, but you're still going in raw, because your pullout game is trash anyway.
Got a point there, too.
I paid $80,000 for a Mark.
This is a regular car review. DBZ King, if they actually got the porcelain chicken, it would be more useful.
For Supra, and that means
you know he's air humping the table as he's recording this. He has to be.
And that means we're trying until I get a son.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear this?
No, I can't.
Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Testing the mic to see if it's working.
It was working. Yeah. Definitely a family-friendly quality stream for everybody. I remember that, man. I remember being on the shitter watching that when it first came out, and I was like, oh, he's just literally just chanting hard dicks right now. Good for him. Good for him. But no, they're awesome, though, regular. I remember, like I said to you, I was introduced to them at the time when I first started doing YouTube full-time. We're like, yo, check these guys. If you were doing car reviews, that would be you, man. Can you buy my PS5? Yeah, sure. So, yeah, but they were, man, their older reviews, too, were great as well. They brought the Supra back, didn't they? Isn't it just a rebadged BMW, and, like, Toyota did the software for it? I'm pretty sure. It's just like a BMW Z3. Hot dicks or hard dicks or whatever. Something. I played my PS5 today. Actually. Yeah, it's an M3 clone, and Toyota worked on the software for it. But the engine's a Z3 or Z whatever Z it is. Oh, I got a fart. So, hot chicken dicks. A Z4, there we go. I knew it was something to do with... They even have a BMW VIN... Yeah, because that's what I heard, is that Toyota worked on the software and everything else is BMW, basically. It's just weird how in the States, though, the market for just sedans is dying slowly. And it's just declining and declining to the point where, like, I don't even think they're making the only car that's not an SUV or an electric car that they're making, Ford, is the Mustang. And even they now have an electric SUV version of the Mustang. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, if you don't have kids, it makes sense to have a... But it just, you know, we're just going into a different time. Everyone in the States... Everyone in the States is all about their SUVs. I mean, I get it. They're versatile. There we go. There's that fart. There it is. God, well, they've been saturating. I mean, what it is that, you know, people they trade in their old car and they buy a new one. They buy another SUV. So... Remember when GM had Hummer? They were just rebadged, whatever the fuck they were, and like, oh yeah, here's a Hummer. Like, no, that's not a Hummer. I'll play BioShock 4. It's not even necessarily for... It's, you know, when you need to lug shit around, and especially you have kids. Like, yeah, if I have an SUV, I have kids, you know. So my PS3 Super Slim won't turn on after I open it to clean my... Any ideas? Well, dude, there could be a billion things. Did you not plug, like, maybe the power supply back in on the motherboard? Did you maybe just, like, is it not turning on at all? Like, you don't even see a light on front? Like, there's a billion... Yeah, the Dodge Durango SRT is pretty badass. That is pretty badass. The Genesis sedans are nice. Do I like birds? No, I can't stand birds, actually. I can't stand those fucking birds. That's my editor in the chat right now. I gotta send them some shit after the stream, which I'll probably be ending it in, like, 15 minutes. Because I want to make sure. So, yeah, it's, you know, if you go back and look, there was so, like, during the 80s and 90s, it was during the 90s where we started to transition over to SUVs. Are the PS3's online servers? Like, I know they shut down Halo Infinite yesterday. Or, yeah, today. That's it. I just bought a Halo Infinite Xbox. Dude, you know what, man? Look, I hate scalpers, but you'll enjoy it. Well, you know, it was... I don't know if it's because people's families... No, if anything... It got larger, but the thing about it, I think what happened really, and the reason why SUVs took over, and this is all speculation, I don't know, I'm just pulling this out of my ass, is that the technology made them so they handled like sedans, but you had the versatility of SUVs. Like they drive and handle like cars, but you have the versatility of an SUV. So if you need to lug shit or lug children, you know. Man, anybody call me Richard? Floppy, did you? Well, I'll check it out next time I stream, because like I said, I'm probably going to be wrapping this up relatively soon. If you have to get a minivan, get the Honda Odyssey. Also avoid the CR-V. Go with the Pilot or Passport for Honda SUV. Okay. I wouldn't go with it. I'm not a minivan person. Never have been a minivan person. Never have been a minivan person. They just drive so floaty. It's where that SUVs handle more like sedans or less, you know, than a minivan. You'd think a minivan because it's lower to the ground and yeah, but that's what I think it is that the tech with the SUVs improved and people were like, all right, it feels like a sedan, but I get to lug all my shit in it, so this just makes more sense. Because when, like, the Chevy Blazer and stuff first came on them, but those were fucking rough cars, man. They did not have anywhere near the ride of sedans at the time. So it was like, all right, I could get this thing and it's going to run like a piece of shit, not, but it's just, you know, it's gonna feel rough on the road, or I could get a sedan which will not only handle better and run better, it'll be safer. You know. And no, yeah, and that's what happened too, is that station wagons came for creepy people. Let's just keep it real. Station wagons became for creepy people. And SUVs took over because they were more in vogue. You know? That's really what I think. I mean, again, I'm pulling this all out of my ass. That's really, you know, not necessarily sure, but I mean, those are the reasons that would make sense. You know? What is 710 horsepower? Are you talking about the Hellcat, the Durango Hellcat? But God, man, in the 80s, you remember, if you go watch Motor Week, like all the retro reviews, and it was new sedan after another, after another, after another. I remember when minivans were a new thing and people thought they were exciting, like the Dodge minivan had a Mitsubishi motor in that thing. It was this wild idea that you could have a big, it was like a van, but it was still a car. Rich, buy a station wagon, pull up to a public park, roll the windows down and spread your cheeks and just go to town really loud. Yeah, that would get me arrested instantly. Then they had those weird, like the Chevy Astro van was a weird fucking van. Then they had the, there was that one that kind of looked like a dustbuster. I remember someone who had that too. I think my one of the kids I went to grammar school with, I used to hang out at his house. His mom had one. I forgot. They looked like literally like an over. That was like Chevy trying to be futuristic or GM, and it looked like a fucking giant dustbuster with wheels on it. No, the Toyota was the Previa. The Toyota was the Previa. I forgot the name of it though. No, it wasn't Toyota. That was the Previa. Not the Ford Aerostar. It was GM, and it literally looked like a giant. I just saw a video on it. Maybe it was the Lumina. Maybe you're right. Lumina. Maybe you're right. I thought the Lumina was sedan though. Not the Aztec. Not the Astrovan. Let me look it up. I'm not going to watch the video now because, like I said, I'm probably going to end the stream in a couple minutes. But let me look it up because I know I just saw. The GM Dustbuster vans. But what the fuck was the name of them, dude? Chevrolet Lumina, yes. Pontiac Transport and the Oldsmobile Silhouette. Yeah. I mean, they literally looked like that's exactly what they looked like. Pontiac Transport. And that was that was the thing. We went from the 80s where everything was fucking square. Like, we thought that looked futuristic. And then in the 90s, it was like, we went completely square and angular with everything. Let's go completely round in the 90s because everyone just is dying for an oval car stereo in their Ford Taurus. It was literally oval. I'm not even being funny. The car stereo was literally oval. Like, who thought that was, like, why are we going to where everything has to be rounded now? You know, but here we are. Well, there we were. And then you had the Astro van, which was kind of a weird looking van. I remember how everyone thought like the Dodge Caravan was so fucking futuristic. It's a car and it's a van. Because before that, I guess it was like you had to buy the big, like what like painters had and shit, and people who were in construction for the vans. So to have a van that was kind of like something where you could put it in a garage and do normal shit with it, but at the same time it has the versatility of a van, was like mind-blowing back in 1986. Now it's like, I think that they make the Chrysler Town and Country. What do they call it? They don't even call it the Town and Country anymore. They call it, it used to be an SUV, and now they call it something different. So, Pacifica. There you go. Chrysler Pacifica. It used to be an SUV. Now it's a minivan. And that's it. They don't make the Dodge Caravan anymore. The Plymouth has been long dead. I don't think Chevy's making any vans. Are they making any fucking vans still? I don't think so. Toyota, I know, still makes a minivan. Honda still makes the Pilot. Not the Pilot. Whatever the fuck it's called. But that's really it. Like, there's just no Mazda MPV. I remember those things, man. Toyota Sienna, yeah. Honda Odyssey, yeah, man. I'm bad. I'm bad with the names tonight. And someone said you would see those Mazda MPVs if you went to like the hood until like 2004. You would know you were in the hood because you would see a Mazda MPV. Hi, I need some heroin with fentanyl in it. Just go to the Mazda MPV that's right over there. Like, that's how you knew. That's how you knew. Like, that's how you knew you were in a bad... Like, they're gone now because most of them just don't fucking run anymore. But, like, in the early 2000s, it's how you knew you were in a bad area. There probably is still a couple straggles around that probably are still in bad areas. Mobile, what, the Mazda MPV? Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. You know you're in a shitty area. There's probably someone who's selling crack nearby in the early 2000s anyway. Most of them, like I said, are dead now if you saw a Mazda MPV. Mustang GT 350R 8K RPM car that's really fast. Is that new? Oh, God, the Ford Excursion. That's when we went a little overboard with the SUVs. And then, like, you know, then the gas crisis or the crisis of 2008 happened, the financial crisis. Everyone's like, yeah, I'm paying $5 fucking a gallon. I don't need a boat with 4 wheels on it, you know? Like, yeah, I need more than like 8 miles a gallon because I'm going to go bankrupt. 'Twas a different fucking time, man. I mean, now cars also have become they've found ways with the engineers working on engines, and then they found ways they could pump more horsepower out of much smaller engines with turbochargers. So the days of needing huge ass engines we're going completely electric or getting on that direction anyway. Remember the 80s Toyota minivan before the Previa? No, I don't. That's when they were still trying to... Dodge, with the Caravan, finally figured out what people wanted. But there was a bunch of weird shit. Didn't Mitsubishi have some weird vans before the minivan? Where you'd have to, like, shove your head up someone else's ass to get into, like, the passenger seat? Ever seen those smart cars? Those look easy to parallel park, but small enough to get easily. But they're probably still safer than anything that came out of mostly anything that came out of the 80s or 90s. That's the thing. Like now with all the regulations, like even if you buy like a Mitsubishi Mirage, which is a horrible car that I would not buy, even no matter how limited your budget is. Yeah, because if you get rear-ended in a Ford Pinto, it's over, Mari. But like even if you buy like the Mitsubishi, it's still significantly safer than a vast majority of anything that was on the road in like the 80s and 90s. There was no regulations, or the regulations were so minimal. Like, yeah, just have mirrors and the car could be made out of paper mache. The Yugo says hi. Remember the fucking Yugo? Those are cars you will not. I'm sure there's like someone who is collecting one of them and they have it like in perfect. I think I've seen a YouTube video of it, but in terms of, you would see actually Yugos on the road in the early 90s, because even though they were terrible, they were affordable, and people were like, hey, I either have this or I walk. So, but those things were fucking shit. Those are bad fucking cars. Even the interiors was such garbage. Remember Cash for Clunkers to save GM and Ford? No, I don't remember that actually, man. Anyway, guys, it's that time. Usually I go longer. I haven't just done a 2-hour stream in a while, but I got to get some shit to my editor and got to get some other shit done. So thank you very much, everybody. Regular chat, super chat. Appreciate all you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Good chance the review for the Aya Neo Next will be up tomorrow, unless there's some kind of hiccup, and I'm sure there'll be some news too. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, and have a great night.